Hello everyone, welcome to the Angels TikTok Reviews channel, and if you are returning, welcome back. This video is going to be about people talking about the debt that they're in, so let's not waste too much time and get right into the video.
Did anyone ever stop to consider that in all this student loan fiasco, the government's never gone after deadbeat parents as hard as they're coming after kids who went to college? Why is that?
How would you feel if you woke up at the age of 21 years old and found out that you were in $200,000 worth of debt? That's exactly what happened to me. Hi, my name is Chelsea, and I am currently in $90,000 worth of debt. Now, waking up and finding out that you're in $200,000 worth of debt literally sounds crazy. Let me explain. Long story short, my mom forced me to go to a 4-year college and get my degree, which, yes, that's awesome, that's great, but I went to a private school in Boston, which I didn't know, but my mother just took out all the student loans in my name when she told me that she was going to pay for me to go to school. After I graduated, I moved to Texas all by myself, and that is when I found out I was in $200,000 worth of debt. I've currently been paying off my student loans for 12 years, but I have to say going to college has been my number one regret. I feel like I've been put behind the 8 ball my entire life. I've literally not known what it's like to be in debt. I understand that my mom did this to try and provide a better life than what she had, but all it really did was hinder me. I'm 33 years old, and I hate how I feel like I'm so far behind everyone because I'm paying a mortgage, a loan, and student debt. I want to use TikTok to help me pay down my $90,000 worth of debt because at this point, getting a second job is just not realistic. And I have a good job, but paying my student loans every month is just honestly killing me at this point. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers. That way I can start using the creator reward program and just see where this goes.
Just found out that my estimated student loan debt payoff is in the year 2049. 2049. 2049. Do I have my fiance start planning my funeral today or tomorrow?
You want to know what's so funny? I posted a video the other day talking about the fact that I'm 26 years old and I'm in $95,487.73 worth of debt, majority of that being student loans. And the response from people is just absolutely wild. And I'm sitting here responding to comments of people shaming me, and they're trying to wonder how it even got to this point. They're trying to put me down, saying I'm never going to pay it off. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I went to school, did what I had to do to become a nurse to help people. And people were shaming me for doing that. I went to school to get a career where I can better people's lives, save lives, and I'm being shamed for the way that I had to do it. I put myself in a financial burden to go get a degree, to help people, to save lives, to better people's lives, and I'm being shamed for the way that I had to do it because I didn't have mommy and daddy paying for my college. I had to take out student loans. You don't even realize how bad student loans can get because in the moment when tuition is due, all you're thinking about is making that tuition date and paying the tuition. So you just signed. That's how it gets to where it is. You just signed because you have to do what you have to do in that moment in order to accomplish your goals. And that's what I did. And I'm being shamed for that. Y'all are shaming a nurse, okay, for doing what she had to do in order to help people. That's crazy.
People who obsess over debt and make it their entire personality aren't going to get out of debt any faster. I think a lot of people don't realize when you initially set the goal of wanting to get out of debt is it takes so much freaking time and consistency to get out of debt. Very rarely are you going to have a situation where you come into like a large sum of money, maybe you had a bonus at work or something where you're able to pay off a really large amount or percentage of that debt all at once. When I first started thinking about goals of becoming debt-free, paying off my car, paying off my student loans, I did the same thing where all I did was focus on paying off that debt. But what happened for me is I yo-yoed. So like 1 month I would be really, really focused on paying off that debt and I would be really frugal, and all I would do would be spending my money on necessities and throwing all this extra cash at debt. But then the next month I would get in this like trap of being like, oh, well, I have to treat myself now. Obviously. And I think what a lot of people don't recognize when they first commit to paying off their debt is it is so much more about the actions that you take over and over again than the words that you speak. I haven't been obsessing over my debts in the past couple months. They've been put on auto pay. I'm even making some extra payments in addition to the minimums on my student loans. It has freed up my mind to think about so many more important and fulfilling things in my life, like family and relationships and businesses that I want to grow in my career. Also, I just need to take a second to say this bun is perfection. I did the double braids and then I tied it in a knot. Look how good she is. If there's something that I could tell my younger self when it came to paying off debt, it's just to set it and forget it. Put it on auto pay. Okay, yeah, you want to pay the debt off faster. You want to throw extra at it in addition to the minimum. You can set whatever amount you want on auto pay. Don't let it take control of your 20s. Don't let it take control of your mind. There are so many options out there for ways that you can pay off debt without it impacting any of your mental space.
You should be celebrating every single little milestone that you can while paying off debt. If you're on a debt-free journey and you're trying to pay off debt and you're feeling so frustrated because the number does not feel like it's moving, I was just talking about this on my office hour call for my Savvy Saver community. It's a community where we meet like once a week and we just chat about budget things. We chat about life. We share different tips and tricks. And today we were talking about how we celebrate every single little milestone. So right now my debt total is $6,709. And you better believe that I will be celebrating when I hit $6,699. I will be celebrating when I hit $5,999. I have these trackers hanging up on my wall, and every time I color in a little shape, I celebrate. Those are also available in my bio. And one of the people in my community was saying, like, I'm celebrating that my student loans are under $51,000. But they said that by the end of this year, it will be under $50,000, and that's something to celebrate. And overall, I truly feel like this mindset of celebrating every little milestone, this is how you win. This is how you pay off debt. I think that this is how you keep yourself motivated along the way, because otherwise looking at the total number is so defeating sometimes.
5 things that I am no longer spending money on until I have dug myself out of this deep, deep hole of debt that I'm in. Start us off. Number 1, I stopped getting my nails done. I was going to the salon about every 3 to 4 weeks, spending about $80 every single time I was going. And you're probably like, Lorraine, if you're in that much debt, why were you spending $80? Dude, I don't know. I should have been putting all of that money towards debt. Second thing that I cut out was my hair. I have not gotten a haircut in almost a year, and even though it probably desperately needs it, I'm gonna do it at home. Maybe I'll regret it. Anyways, hair grows back. So third thing that I am no longer buying is subscriptions. So when my Costco subscription lapsed in the beginning of January, I did not renew it. I canceled my Amazon subscription and I canceled my Spotify subscription. All of those things added up were costing me $20, $30, $40 a month. And that's $40 a month that I could be putting towards my debt. So if I want to buy something, I have to go to the store and get it. Don't need to be purchasing things in bulk all the time, because one of my biggest things was that I would just go to Costco because I was bored and then I would walk out with $500 worth of stuff. And I do go to Costco, it's with either my boyfriend or my mom, and I only buy exactly what I need. The fourth thing that I'm no longer buying is books of any sort. I went to the library for the first time in years and I got a library card. Now I can borrow books from the library, and I also got the Libby app. They have tons and tons of audiobooks on there for free. The fifth thing that I am no longer buying is duplicates of anything. So I have a really bad habit of like, oh, I see that cute new water bottle, I need it. No, I have a wonderful one right here. I have 5 at home. Why do I need another one? Glasses, I have a pair and I'm going to wear them until they break. Makeup, I'm going to use it until it's gone. I'm really trying to be intentional about what I bring into my house and not buying duplicates of anything. So that's 5 things that I will no longer be spending money on until I have dug myself out of this $83,000 hole that I am in. So what are some things that you've cut out of your budget to help you pay off debt? Let me know in the comments.
I hope everyone's enjoying the video so far. If you are, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you've ever been in debt, or if you are currently in debt, how you're trying to pay it off, maybe how much debt you're in. I'd love to know, so leave a comment down below and let me know. And let's get back to the video.
Let's go ahead and make an additional payment to our credit card. And before I show y'all the starting balance, definitely go ahead and follow our journey. We've paid off $30,000 of just credit card debt in 6 months, and we still have about $40,000 to go. We started paying on this credit card March 27th of 2025, almost a month ago. The starting balance was $6,729.70. And this is the balance as of today, $4,999. And yes, I did that on purpose because I didn't want to be in the 5,000s. And we went ahead and made an extra $1,000 payment. This all came from my side hustle. That payment posted and our new balance is $3,999. Throughout the 6 months that we've been paying our credit card debt off, I feel like this one has been the hardest to pay. This card has an APR of 16.99%, and we get charged about $130 of interest per month on this credit card alone. As you can see, once we're done paying on this credit card, we have 2 cards that are in the 600s and we can pay those off easily. This will be our 18th credit card paid off out of 28 cards in total. And I document every single step of the way, so definitely follow our journey because we're going to be credit card debt free in 2025 and so will you.
My name's Faye and I'm about £30,000 in debt. I'm making the minimum payments each month and I'm just fed up of random spending and having this big number looming over me. So I've made this account to document my journey on paying it off. I'm going to be trying all the tips and tricks that I see of how to make extra money to pay off things quicker. I'm going to make a breakdown of how I'm going to pay it off, where all the money is owed to, and things like that. I have a few different apps that I've downloaded to try like mystery shopping and surveys and things, but I also want to try digital products, that type of thing. I'm not out here willing to spend money on a course on how to do it, so I'm going to take you along my journey. If I figure it out and it works, you can come along with me. And if it doesn't work, then I've tried it so you don't have to. Let me know in the comments your debt journey if you're on one or if you're just here to see how it all goes.
I'm changing my debt payoff strategy completely around. Hi, my name's Nicole and I have about $9,000 left of my $30,000. And I recently got diagnosed with ADHD, which is shocking to realize that it has been a contributor to all my debt. I'm changing my strategy though because of that, but also because of a lot of feedback that you all left. I make these videos of asking silly money questions because I wanted to know like what people are doing. And I'm seeing some trend lines that I never even thought to consider. For me, and part of my ADHD is that I want to hyper-focus on things. If I have a goal, then I'm going to get it done. But there's no balance to that. So when I'm paying off my debt, I'm kind of ignoring everything else that I need to focus on, like an emergency fund, making sure all my bills are set up so that I'm able to pay them on time every month, and it just creates a lot of chaos. So I'm doing this instead. I'm paying about $584 a month going forward towards my credit card. I have already taken a huge step by listening to you all in transferring a good amount of my debt or whatever I could to a zero balance credit card. So there's $6,000 of my debt that is now interest-free for at least 21 months. The second step in this process is that I am now going to automate my savings. Instead of rely on my own memory and effort to pay those when I get paid. Like honestly, I don't know why I felt like I needed to manage that on my own when you can just click a few buttons and it get automatically paid for you. I'm also decreasing my aggressiveness with paying it off. Like before I had this crazy plan, I was like, oh, like $1,000 a month towards a debt, $1,000 towards a debt, $2,000 towards a debt. And it's just not been sustainable. That $584 is enough to pay both minimums of the cards that I don't really need to worry about as much, but make a good dent in the card that does have the highest interest rate. Instead, $500 a month is going to now go to my savings account, which I kind of get tunnel vision and I forget to actually put money in. We're learning here, guys. We're learning.
I paid off $14,000 in credit card debt last month, and here's how. There's a twist. I still have the debt. I just took out a personal loan to pay off the credit card instead. I know there are pros and cons to this method of paying off credit card debt, but by taking out a personal loan, I was able to get a 3-year payment plan, and my monthly payment was about $100 more, but I know that I'm going to be paying off that debt in that 3-year time period. The reason why this is important to me is because my credit card with Discover had about 20% interest, so the interest rate was 20%, and if I only paid the minimum payment, it would have taken me more than 40 years to pay off $14,000 worth of debt. because maybe $50 a month was going towards the principal balance. I'm also hoping that any extra money I can earn from TikTok can go towards that debt payment and I can pay it off even quicker.
I have paid off about $12,000 in debt in the last year. I have about $6,700 in debt remaining, and my goal is to pay it off as fast as possible. But here's a little reintroduction for anyone who's new. My name is Elise. I live in Nebraska and grew up in a pretty rural area. I have a 4-year-old son. I do have a boyfriend, but he is not in much of my content. And I also have a chocolate lab named Colt. I started with about $19,000 in debt, but this was the first sign that I have a picture of. I have been tracking my spending using this tracker that is a freebie in my bio to be able to see my overall spending habits and hold me accountable on my spending. The green means no money spent. The purple is essentials or exceptions, and the pink is extra. But overall, seeing it on a calendar just helps me visualize my spending a little bit better. I graduated from the University of Nebraska, go Big Red, with a bachelor's degree in psychology and human development. And I use it here to talk about money and psychology. I don't have any student loans between my military service, paying extra towards my student loans, and having a job that had tuition benefits. And I'm very thankful for that. While on a debt-free journey, I've focused on still having a balanced life with a little bit of travel, date nights, fun things with my friends and my son. There are just a few things in my budget that I'm not willing to give up. We celebrated my 30th birthday in Nashville, and it was a core memory for sure. So a lot of my content is sharing things that I am willing to spend my money on and things that I'm not. I have a few money resources in my bio if you're looking to get started on your own debt-free journey. My goal is to stop paying for my past and start funding my future. Follow along for my debt-free journey.
I have $9,000 left to pay off from my $30,000 of credit card debt. And I'm just feeling like it's not going fast enough, but at the same time trying to balance like savings in life that pops up and just like being not an insane human being is like, it's really hard. I don't know if you guys struggle with this as well, but not only am I learning about where my spending is coming from and how to kind of like tighten things up, I'm also looking into like more lifestyle changes, because this simply isn't about me paying off the debt. It's about how do I better myself? How do I become a different person at the end of the day and never get into a situation again? If you guys have any major changes that you've made, one of the things I'm trying out right now is starting to exercise and run again. Are there particular things that you all have done or changed or stopped doing that like has made like a huge difference? I have running on the list, but I'm not sure what else to add.
I'm 23 years old and I'm in $246,000 worth of debt. Let's talk about it. The vast majority of that debt comes from my home loan. I closed on my home right after my 21st birthday, so I haven't paid down very much of that yet. I also have student loans, a car loan, and then I have one credit card, and I have my timeshare. Before anyone says anything about it, I know the timeshare was a bad idea. I can't get out of it now until it's paid off. But I am working on getting all my debt paid off. So if you want to see that journey, come along with me. I work several side hustles. I have a full-time job, and then I also work at Instacart. I am a travel agent, and I work at a gas station. All of that to try to get my debt paid down. My goal for this year is to pay off my remaining credit card. That card has about $3,800 left on it. If I continue at my current pace, I'll have it paid down by the end of the summer. So feel free to join me here. I am not silly enough to think that I'm going to make money off of TikTok to pay off my debt, but I do want to document my journey just to see how far I've come as I get some of this stuff paid down. I made a decision last August that I was going to change my life for the better and stop going farther into debt and get debt paid off. I just paid off one of my credit cards and now I'm paying off the other one.
Alright everyone, that is all I've got for this video. If you enjoyed, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!